Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about 5 players that I think will have breakout seasons for the Washington football team in 2021. I did this video last year and I thought it was pretty fun, so I decided to bring it back for you guys. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video, and I want you guys to drop down in the comments below what is one player you think will have a breakout season in 2021 for the Washington football team. Okay, so let's get started. So this first player might not seem like a breakout player because he already had a great year his rookie season, but I think he's going to have even better second year, and a monster second year, and that is Chase Young. Chase Young had 7.5 sacks last year and 4 forced fumbles in his rookie year. I expect him this year to have over 10 sacks, maybe get into that 12, 13 plus range and be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. And here is why. First off, he was a rookie last year, and most players, make the biggest jump between their rookie and their second year. So this is his second year. Also, Chase Young didn't have, they didn't have a lot of off-season workouts last year, and he got hurt in training camp and then re-injured himself in, week 3 against the Browns. He missed like a game and 3 quarters, and he really wasn't healthy until week 9, week 10, whenever they played the Bengals. And after that, once he got fully healthy again, he was an absolute beast. And I think this season, in his second year, as long as he stays healthy, I think he will have a much better year than he did last year. Even though last year was great, I think he'll have, he will have 12 plus sacks and 4 plus forced fumbles this year. You look at the jumps, from year 1 to year 2 in a lot of these edge rushers, and it's absolutely insane. J.J. Watt went from like 5 to 20 sacks. Khalil Mack had a huge jump from year 1 to year 2. Same thing with Myles Garrett and Von Miller. They all have had big jumps, and Von Miller and Khalil Mack were both, both played under Jack Del Rio, and obviously Chase Young right now is playing under Jack Del Rio. So I think Chase Young will have an even better season than he did last year. So this next player right here is a little bit of a, one of the most underrated players on the Washington football team, at least in my opinion, and that is Cole Holcomb. I think he is going to have a great season this year for the Washington football team. If you look at Cole Holcomb's stats from year 1 to year 2, he definitely improved. The only unfortunate part was, he was out for the first 5-ish games of the season because of a knee injury. Played in that first game, but only like the first possession, and then he was out, which was really, really unfortunate. But this year in 10 games, really, because he really didn't play that Eagles game, he had 1 interception, 1 pass defended, 2.5 sacks, and 72 tackles with 6 tackles for loss. So I think if he plays a full season, his stats are looking like probably 2 interceptions, maybe a forced fumble, maybe like 3.5 sacks, and over 100 tackles as well. But if you look at his coverage stats this year, they were, very, very much improved. Let's go ahead and look at it. So it's year 1, he was dreadful in coverage, allowed an 83.7% completion percentage and an 115.4 pass rating. This year, he, dropped that down to a 61.8% completion percentage and a 64.7 pass rating, which is absolutely insane. Only allowed 1 touchdown. That is really, really good news right there. And I think if he stays healthy, he could be a really, really good linebacker for us. I thought he was good last year. I think he'll be even better this year with a full season and another year in this system. In his 3rd year, I expect him to make another jump and, put up great stats over a full 16 games. This one, I think Antonio Gibson, this one is, pretty obvious. I think he's going to make a big jump in year 2. He was doing pretty, good last year up until he got, when he got injured, and that kind of stunted some things. But, I mean, he was totally new to the position. totally new to the position last year, switching from receiver to running back. He took some snaps. Sorry about that, at running back in college, but primarily was used as a receiver. And he was very, very raw early on, and even at the end of the season. But he got better and better as the season went on. 11 rushing touchdowns. He was just an absolute beast in the red zone, especially near the goal line. I think they're going to use him more in the passing game, which he had like 247 yards receiving this past season. I expect that to be over 400 receiving yards this year, and I expect him to be over 1,000 yards rushing. So I think he'll have over 1,500 yards from scrimmage. I know that's a lot, but I do think he's going to make a big jump, especially, having a full offseason this year with OTAs, minicamp, which he didn't have last year, having some preseason. As long as he's healthy, I expect him to make a huge jump because, this is his first full offseason as a running back, because last year really didn't have an offseason. So this year I expect him to take a bigger, role in the passing game, which will help out his numbers a ton. So the next guy, Curtis Samuel, I've been, saying this for a while. I think he's going to have a, great year this year, and here's why. You look at his stats every single year, he has gotten better. Rookie year, 115 yards, 0 touchdowns. Then the next year, 494 yards and 5 touchdowns. The next year, 627 yards. And then the year after that, 851 yards. Receiving, same thing if you look at the, rushing yards. Every year has gotten better, although this year, pretty much the reason why he had more rushing yards is because he had over double the attempts from the year before that, but still he's gotten better pretty much at everything every single year, and I expect that to be the same in Washington, especially with the offense that we have. Him lining up with Terry McLaurin, him lining up, with Logan Thomas, De'Ami Brown, all those guys as our receiving threats, and even, our running game is going to be better, which can open up some things in the passing game as well. I think he's going to improve and hopefully have his first 1,000-yard receiving season and have about 5 touchdowns. I don't think he's going to be a huge threat in the run game. I would say probably about maybe 100 rushing yards, kind of like that 2019 season, maybe 100 to 150 rushing yards, and a couple touchdowns right there. But I still am really excited to see what he can do with Washington. I think, it's probably the best offseason signing they had because it was a huge position of need. I cannot wait to see what he can do in this offense. And then last guy is Cameron Curl. I know he had a breakout year last year, but I expect him even better year this year. Last year in 16 games had 84 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 1 touchdown. I think this year he's going to have, similar numbers, more tackles, but I expect him to be a better overall player this year because he's going to be able to start all these games, hopefully, at the strong safety position because he only got to start at strong safety once Landon Collins went down, so he's going to get a lot more playing time this year, in my opinion. He was a 7th-round pick last year, had no rookie minicamp, no OTAs, and no regular minicamp, and no preseason, and still was able to have a huge year. I think he's going to have over 100 tackles, let's say 3.5 sacks, and I think he's going to lead the team in picks. Him or Kendall Fuller at around 4 or 5. I cannot wait to see what he can do in his second year in this system. I just hope his growth is not stunted by putting Landon Collins at strong safety instead of him, but I do think it'll be Cameron Curl as our starting strong safety. So those are the guys right there. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any other guys that you would have put here instead. Appreciate you guys for watching. Subscribe if you guys are new. Turn on that or hit that like button and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. Peace.